this episode, we talk about suicide, suicidal thoughts, and mental health struggles. If you are ever struggling with any of these things, we urge you to reach out to a professional or somebody that you trust. We will link support down below, and we are always here for you.
It got to the point where I had to ask my dad to take me to A&E at one point, and I was starting to realize that the correlation between the pain and the vomiting was literally because like of how painful it was. Like my body was literally reacting to just make me be sick. Racial disparities within like the healthcare system is probably the worst thing ever. Listen to your body.
Nice.
Listen to your body.
And I'd say whether you have a chronic condition or not, always listen to your body.
Listen to your body, and comparison is a thief of joy.
Welcome to the Hormonal Hotline podcast with me, Ellisha Blake, the podcast where we talk about all the things that would usually stay in a group chat, but there are no boundaries here. We're having raw, honest and open conversations, and I want to thank you so much for being here. Let's get to it. Hello and welcome back to the Hormonal Hotline with me, Ellisha Blake. Today's episode is for all of my endo angels out there. I have Thanai Caesar, who is the founder of This Won't End Me, which is a UK and Canadian non-profit organisation supporting individuals with endo and menstrual health. Welcome!
Yay! Hello! Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I am doing fantastic.
Good.
Yes, yeah. I've had a restful weekend.
I'm honestly so jealous.
Listen, I think you
It's
need
needed.
it. Yeah.
It's needed.
Yep.
You are glowing though. You
Thank
look
you.
like you look like you've had some rest.
I have. And I'm just happy to be here, to be honest.
Stunning.
So, yeah.
Also, today is the 1st of March, which is what?
Endo Awareness Month.
A very important month.
So it's a perfect time to just really champion women and give props to the things that we're doing. We do that whilst bleeding, whilst struggling with chronic conditions, and it's really important.
Yeah, honestly, half the time I'm like, how are we all doing this? And do you know what? Slaying the day away.
Literally, it's second nature now, isn't it?
Honestly, yeah, the struggle, but also like the pursuit of like success.
Yes.
It's like, we're doing this. You can't have one without the other.
There's a happy medium, need a balance.
I agree. For those that are listening, can you please explain what endometriosis is? Because a lot of people don't actually know still to this day what it is, and talk about the symptoms.
Yeah, absolutely. So endometriosis, the medical term for endometriosis is that literally it is when tissue similar to the lining of the uterus actually grows outside of the uterus. So there's different types of endometriosis. There's different stages of endometriosis. Like some women have endometriosis where it's around like their uterus. Others have it, there's rectovaginal endometriosis where it's in between that area. There's it's called I've forgotten the name of it, but it's endometriosis on the lungs as well. Like it could be there as well. So depending on that, a lot of the most common experiences with endometriosis is that it is painful periods. Although endometriosis is not just a reproductive condition, it's actually a full body chronic condition, because I think one thing that needs to be remembered is that some women experience pain even when they're not on their periods. So that could be things like leg pain, pain in your lower back, extreme fatigue, because if you're thinking about the scar tissue that's around your body's taking a while to kind of like break that down and also helping it to heal as well. So it takes a huge toll on your body as well. A lot of people experience like a lot of pelvic pain during sex or pain after sex. And those are just to name a few. Like when it comes to it's called thoracic endometriosis, which is yes. Yeah. There's different things that come with that as well. And I think what's difficult, obviously I'm not a medical physician and I don't have all the medical jargon and things, but endometriosis is such a unpredictable disease that there's still so much research being done on it. So we might think now that we have all the ideas of like what it is and understanding of what it is. But
there's so much more to it.
There's so much more to it. And I think it's really difficult to understand, like even just how it migrates around the body, because how does scar tissue get from like where does it come from? Like where is it traveling to? How does it get to your lungs? How does it get to these different areas?
An article about how someone found it in their eye.
Yes, I saw that.
That's
I saw
crazy.
that. So there's so much research that needs to be done on it, and like I said, like some people might have different experiences of endo. I know for me personally, my experiences with endo is when I was having periods, my periods were really heavy. I was also anemic because I was losing so much blood. I had pain in my lower back. I had pain in my legs, like a lot of like sciatic pain as well. And I think after not having when I wasn't having my periods, that pain still existed, especially pelvic pain.
What did you do for the pain? Like, do you have any tips for anyone that's obviously going through it right now? And what were your main things that you did?
I'm a big person for like heat therapy, like having like some kind of heat therapy. That being said, please be careful with hot water bottles. Yes, please be careful with those. But just heat. I love a TENS machine. Honestly, it works for me. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but it really helps me a lot. And obviously taking painkillers and just making myself as comfortable as possible is, I think, is all you can really do. But sometimes the pain is so like you can't cut it, so you do have to get that extra medical support. I definitely think.
Absolutely. God, it's so tough.
So tough. So I think when it comes to like you're going to your GPs, just make sure that you're advocating for yourself and bringing someone along with you.
What advice would you give to someone that is going to the doctor for the first time? Say like a 25-year-old person that was going and they're like, okay, I'm going to try and get diagnosed. What advice would you give them?
I would say when you start to see these symptoms, I definitely think it's really important to log everything. There's so many period apps around at the moment that you can use to log your symptoms, and then you can print those off and take those with you. But I think it's really important to have that. I think it's really important as well because of the emotional toll that it can take advocating for yourself constantly. Sometimes it's nice to have someone with you, just to be able to be like a listening ear and also to like probe with any questions as well. So I think that that's really, really important. I was privileged enough to go to a private medical care, and I know not everybody's able to have that, but if you do have that option, please also I would encourage to explore it for sure, 100%.
Because living in pain is not okay.
It is not sustainable. Like this really has an impact on your body. It has an impact on your mental health. It relationships. It affects everything. So I think it's really, really important. Like I think like when people say advocating for yourself, I think they just think, oh, you just speak for yourself just once and then that's it. No, it's a constant thing. I think that you're going to continuously advocate for yourself throughout your life. And I think that like you have to be persistent with that. And if you do feel tired of being persistent with it, find someone to lean on or someone to support you in some way.
And I always find when you get these, like I've obviously different, but I've obviously got PMDD. I have 13 years of being undiagnosed, and obviously the day I got diagnosed, everyone was like, must be such a big relief, which I said to you, must be such a big relief. But from that point onwards, you're basically putting on this hat being like, I'm going to have to advocate for myself for the rest of my life. I'm going to have to wear this hat and be like, I have this. And it's not even just advocating at the doctors, it's advocating within your relationships, at work, with strangers, with it continues like throughout. It becomes a job, like all the time having to over communicate and be like, I'm in my luteal phase, I don't want to get out of bed, I feel this way. And that can be so tiring.
It is extremely tiring. And it's funny because one of the first stories that we ever shared on our blog and our Instagram was from Imogen Hooker. I hope you see this, Imogen. Hi. But she had when I did an interview with her, the title of her blog is called My Health Journey is my job. My health is my job. Because you're constantly like, it's almost like you're in the office. You have to organize your medical history, your medical appointments.
You're tracking
everything
cycle,
like you're going symptoms. To these constant appointments. And just reading her story, I recommend anyone to read her story because I think she shares an example of what it is like to live with a chronic illness, especially endometriosis, and how much it can really take a toll on you because especially for her, like she's someone who she can't work at the moment because of her endometriosis. And so her health literally is her job because like she this is what she has to focus on, and
it's
I think
taken over her life.
it is a brutal reality for a lot of people.
That's not okay.
No,
that's
at all. So yeah, and she's an artist as well, so she shares like her illustrations of her experience with endometriosis.
Wow.
Honestly, if there's anything you guys do from this podcast, go and read that blog.
Wow, I will. Look
yeah.
at it later. What was it called again?
My health is my job.
My health is my job.
Yes.
We'll link it below.
Yes, that would be great.
My Health is My Job by Imogen Hooker.
Yes.
Stunning. I love that. Right, let's start. Take me back to the beginning. So you have endometriosis.
I do. Yes.
And I'm guessing this is your big why of why you've created what you have created.
Yeah.
We actually met this week at an event, didn't
we?
One of your This Won't End Me events, which was a sip and paint event. It was gorgeous. Shameful plug, I'm going to say.
No, thank you. I really appreciate it.
People need to come to your events. It was such 100%. A beautiful, I've had a really chaotic week, and it was such a beautiful evening to just sit there. And you did some like, what's it called? Icebreakers.
Yes, yeah.
Met some cool people, and it was just really calm. And also, although it was sip and paint, it wasn't alcoholic, and that was actually very nice. I needed that.
Yeah, I think like, especially because it was like a Wednesday, it was the middle of the week.
Yeah.
And everyone knows Wednesdays are hum days anyway. So like no one really wants to be out. So I was really quite surprised by the turnout, but I wanted it to be intentional. It's supposed to be, the theme was rest. And I think that whether it's chronic illnesses or anything to do with like just being in the struggle and the hustle and bustle of life, I feel like it's nice to just go somewhere, sit, relax, and just paint and put paper to,
it was very
pen to paper. Yeah. And what I really loved about it is the community. And I think like living with a chronic illness, first and foremost, it can be extremely lonely, it can be extremely isolating. So to be able to see people like who've never met each other before be like, hey, take my number, or hey, like let's exchange tips or talk about our journey, like I that's the kind of thing that I really want to create. So I'm glad I was able to do so. And I'm glad that you were there as well. So.
No, I had a great time. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming.
My inner artist was unleashed.
Honestly, she did a fantastic, like, honestly, I just looked at, she was the first person that actually wrote on her canvas, which I think everyone assumes that like art is something that has to be like, you have to be Picasso or Van Gogh. But like, I think it's really important to be able to like write words of affirmation and really express yourself in whatever way works for you. And you did a great job.
I actually went back on my notes and found a note from a very a weird place about 6 months ago when I was going through a breakup, and I put that on a canvas, and then I altered it into two other sayings, didn't I? Yeah. And actually that saying, I think it was I promise to give myself everything I need.
Absolutely.
I landed off a plane and I wrote that on my notes, and I haven't looked at it since, and then it came to me in the moment. Crazy.
See, like you just like, I just feel like art just really helps you to process those things. So yeah,
it does. Art is therapy.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we're yapping. I love it. You're so interesting and fun. I have so many things to ask, but let's go back to the beginning.
Yes.
When did you first realize that your period pain wasn't normal and the symptoms that you were perhaps getting every month?
Yeah.
I'm guessing you probably didn't know what endo was at this point. Like, no, most people don't. Like, when did you suddenly go, maybe this isn't, maybe I'm not like everyone else?
Yeah. Well, I started my period when I was 14. And it was painful. Like, it was quite painful, but at the time I just thought it was normal. And like, I would get sent home from school and it was just like, oh, like your period's happening. Just go home and have a hot bath and like have some chocolate and that will make it all better. But it's so funny because my symptoms actually didn't start to get really to the point where it was bad until I was 18. Funnily enough, on my 18th birthday, I was supposed to be going out with some friends and I had the worst, like, I know this sounds TMI because it shouldn't be TMI, but like I had the worst diarrhea. I was throwing up like
on your 18th birthday. Oh my God.
And I thought that, maybe I ate something bad or maybe I have food poisoning. And it happened for like 3 days and then it subsided. And then every period after that, it continued to happen.
The diarrhea?
Yeah. So I would have diarrhea and like I vomiting as well. And it just continued to get worse and worse and worse. It got to a point where like I was in college and I had to like take like 5 days off. Like pretty much my period was like 7 days. But during the first 5 days, I would be throwing up. I would be having diarrhea. I couldn't hold down water.
Oh my God.
Couldn't hold down painkillers. Couldn't hold down anything. Couldn't eat anything. Like I was like so skinny. like no nutrients was going into my body, so I was bed bound,
malnourished.
Yeah, it got to the point where I had to ask my dad to take me to A&E at one point, and because he was like, what is going on with you, like why does this keep happening? And I went to A&E, and the doctor was basically just like, yeah, it's just your period, just take some painkillers and head home. So they ended up prescribing me painkillers. I was put on like cocodamol because the pain was so bad, and I was starting to realize that the correlation between the pain and the vomiting was literally because like of how painful it was. Like my body was literally reacting to just make me be sick.
Yeah,
it honestly was just horrendous. So I ended up being put on like loads of like contraceptive pills. They were like, here, take this one, take that one, just try it. And lots of them didn't work, but then it started working. The last one I got put on, it ended up working, and I was on that for like 3 years. Didn't have any periods, was absolutely fine.
I mean, you're so desperate at that point, you'll take anything.
I was like, I'll take anything, because I was like you having like bad periods is one thing, but like you have to basically like having any kind of event, like any special event in your life. I couldn't go to a wedding once, and I really wanted to go to a wedding. I couldn't go because like I have to basically model my whole entire schedule based off of this horrible period that I knew was coming. It's like this evil monster that just appeared whenever it wanted to. So when I finally got relieved, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cured, I'm fine. I decided to come off of it, and what
made you want to come off it? You just didn't want to be on it anymore?
It made me gain a lot of weight.
Right, okay.
So it's just like, I guess like it's so funny, like this is just me going on a whole segue, but like it's so funny how like having a chronic illness and like looking at your periods and your hormones, like you also have that added extra feeling of like your body image, like you're more aware of it than you should be as a woman as well. Like it's just something that's really difficult. So for me, it was like going from one extreme, I was like skinny, and then all of a sudden I put on this whole amount of weight. So I was really struggling with my body image at that time. So it's like, it's time for me to come off of it. Came off of it. When I tell you, my periods were a breeze. Like I thought I was the spokeswoman for, you should stay away from red meat. Like you just use organic everything, eat this will help. Like I was giving people all the advice. I was like, use this menstrual cup, it really helped. Like my periods were an absolute breeze. And then COVID hit, and the pain just came back.
Crazy.
It came back.
Do you think that was from stress?
No, I think it came back with a vengeance, basically, because I think that this is my own personal experience, but I do think that taking the contraceptive pill for my case, I felt like it was like a band-aid being put over it. So it wasn't actually dealing with the actual issue. Yeah. It might have paused it for a little bit, but it didn't actually deal with the actual
underlying
issue.
Like root cause.
Exactly. And so that was the time where I was like, something is wrong. Like I had the sharpest pains, like just like up my back, up my bum. Like
bum ache is the worst.
Honestly, it's like a lightning strike. Like it's the
I haven't
worst
had it for
thing
years,
ever.
but I remember I used to be like,
yeah. I used to have it like up my vagina as well, like pain that I've never experienced before. So I went to the doctors, and they were like, okay, we'll refer you for an ultrasound. Went for an ultrasound, came back fine. They were like, nothing's wrong with you, so you're fine, just carry on as normal. And I was like, no, something is absolutely wrong. So I actually went to a private doctor. I saw a private gynecologist through like I think like I had like work benefits at the time with like medical insurance. And literally as soon as I saw this doctor, she was like, you have endometriosis. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Like, I don't think I have that. I don't think that's it. Like, she was like, no, I can tell you right now, I'm going to send you for an MRI, but from the symptoms that you're telling me, you have endometriosis. So
wow, because that's actually quite impressive.
She was,
because normally it's, from what I've heard, most people that have endo, it's years.
Yeah, I am. Well, if you think about it, it has taken really 9 years for me to get diagnosed, from 18 to like, I'm terrible at maths, so I'm not even going to bother. But like, I was in my late 20s at that time. Yeah. So when I'm sat in front of this private doctor, and she's like, from what you're telling me, everything that you're saying to me, I know you have endometriosis, but I just need to put you forward for a test to confirm it. But I'm telling you now that you have it. 2 weeks later, got the results, went to see her. She was like, I told you, you have endometriosis, and you have deep infiltrating endometriosis. So it was stage 4 at that point. And it was really interesting because I knew nothing about endometriosis, didn't know anything about it. But it took me within a month to see her to be able to get a diagnosis. Gosh. Whereas it took me 9 years for like it to be even taken seriously. So getting diagnosed with that, it really changed my whole life. Obviously they put me back on the contraceptive pill, but she literally was like, if you want to have surgery today, like I can refer you for surgery today. Like I am so grateful for that lady, because she really, I felt heard, I felt listened to. And and what she explained, which I think was the biggest thing, she said that because I had come off the pill, like the pill was basically just holding it off for so long, like it subsided my symptoms, that as soon as I stopped it and as soon as I started to have more periods, basically the scar tissue continued to grow, and it just started to kind of build on each other, and that's why like it basically the scarring just continued to grow. So the pill was literally like maybe like just holding it off a little bit, but as soon as I came off of it, it just started to grow
got worse and worse and worse. And that process must have been so validating, that appointment, sorry, not the process, but it must have been so validating to be like, I'm not crazy, I've been throwing up for years, I've had these awful symptoms like in a cyclical way for every single month, and all of a sudden someone's like, no,
this is it,
this is what I had
this is it. And I think for me, like, yes, it was validating, but also it was extremely scary to me, because
of course,
like going online and seeing like how many women have it, and how like one thing I think that really confused me a lot was everyone was saying that I have stage 4, which is like supposed to be the worst type of endo. But there's people I know that have stage 2, or there's people that I've looked at and they've had stage 2, and they're at A&E like every day. Wow. Whereas I didn't have, like, I don't know why that was, but like my experience wasn't the same. So I think I found it really confusing. It was a really confusing time for me, because when you look online, you see all these people talking about it, and I'm like, how have I not known about this before?
I know.
And 2, like, why is everyone having a different experience to me?
This is very similar to PMDD. It drives me crazy, because it's like, there's no one size fits all. No. And it's really hard when you're trying to advocate for yourself as well. But there's so many other symptoms you may have that could be an endo symptom, but no one knows it is yet. And it's like really hard. And that process of leading up to getting diagnosed, those 9 years, how, I'm guessing, what was that experience like?
I think as well, like, I have this conversation quite a lot, especially within like minority backgrounds, like especially Black backgrounds. Periods aren't talked about as much as they should be. And I think like having conversations with my parents or aunts or like older women in the families, they're always just like, oh, like it's just part of womanhood, like you just grin and bear it, and it's really sad, because you realize that they didn't have the tools available to understand their bodies that much, so they just chalked it up to that's just it being a woman,
and you just deal with it.
So I found it really difficult. I also found it really difficult being amongst my peers, because everyone I would tell, like, no, sorry, I can't come out because my periods are that bad. They're just like, oh, just take some painkillers. Like, you'll absolutely
water bottle.
You'll be absolutely fine. And I'm like, no, like, seriously, like, this whole week is written off. I cannot go anywhere. I am sick. So it really was difficult. I kind of felt like, what is wrong with me? Like, why is it that like everybody else can live a normal life with their periods and I can't? And it was honestly, when I think back on it, it probably was a really lonely time, just like,
and as you say, coming from obviously like a community where it's not spoken about as much and it's stigmatized, it's really hard to gain the courage, the knowledge, and to be able to advocate for yourself.
Absolutely.
We spoke about this study in a different podcast, that I think with endometriosis, and I've watched this amazing documentary by Shannon Cohn. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes.
So
is it Under the Belt?
Under the Belt. Fantastic documentary. I didn't know anything about endo until I watched that. And I watched it, I think in Endo Awareness Month 2 years ago. And I think one of the studies that she said is for a woman of colour, it takes them double the amount of time as a white woman. And I think this isn't spoken about enough
at all.
And if you're already coming from a background where it's not spoken about, and then you've got that happening within like the medical industry as well, you've got all the odds against you for getting diagnosed.
Racial disparities within like the healthcare system is probably the worst thing ever. And like even we had an exhibition for Black History Month in October last year, and one of the things that was really quite scary is I saw it actually was like a statistic, but this one is actually like, it was on BBC News, that Black women are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth.
I saw this.
And like, I think that tells you everything that you need to know about like a Black woman's experience within the healthcare system, is that like you're not believed. And also as well, like I don't know if whether they think that we have like a higher pain threshold and we can deal with a lot more, but that is a huge misconception, and it's actually extremely damaging for women who are, whether they're menstruating or not, or to do with their fertility or anything. It's really sad.
How can we change this?
Good question.
Like, how can this change? Because it's not okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of people need to be more educated, because I think that this is something that like a lot of people were like, oh, this is news to us. Like I didn't know this, but it should be something that everybody should know, because I think the more awareness about it, the more it can impact like your practices, right? So like when we had the exhibition, like I had a midwife, she was white. She came in and she came up to me and she was like, I didn't even know that this was going on. And I like have clients who are from the background. Yeah. And she was like, I didn't know any of this. Thank you for, raising that awareness, because now it helps me to be able to advocate better for my patients when I'm working with them. And I think that that's where it starts. The more we talk about these experiences and we share these experiences, the more that we bring awareness to it, and that informs other people's practice and how they are able to advocate for us, because I think it's a joint thing. Like I think that I always say that women's health is not just a woman's issue. Like it should be an everybody's issue. And I think Black women's health should not be just Black women's issue. I think it should be everybody's issue as well.
No, I totally agree. Yeah. And I think it's how scary that you can have a white midwife working within that industry and in those environments.
Yeah.
So blissfully unaware that this is going on. It's crazy to me that this is only being highlighted now. But thank God it is.
Yeah. And imagine like people have been living with this for years, like having to deal with this for years, and only now it's starting to get the limelight.
Again, I do think as like people that can have babies and periods and all of these things, we just put up and shut up a lot of the time.
That's what it's giving.
Yeah. And we're just like, I'm just going to get on with it. And I think listening to you, I can already tell if you did ever have a child, the education that child would have from day one, and the conversations you would perhaps have with it to like break down those stigmas of being like, if you bleed like this, that's not normal. No. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
Come to mum kind of thing.
100%.
Like, those conversations are really important.
It is important. And I think that like there's still so much stigma around it. Like no one wants to talk about it, but I think it's something that needs to be talked about a lot more.
Yeah, for sure. So now I want to talk about This Won't End Me, your non-profit organisation. She's a big girl.
Yes.
You must sound like, what's your title there?
CEO and founder, of course.
I actually remember the other day you stood up on the stage and you're like CEO, and I was like, oh,
I love it. I just love it for me. Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what it is and what you do? I have so many questions, and everything you do with like the artsy side of things, I'm so interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. So This Won't End Me is a non-profit that has been created to raise awareness predominantly for endometriosis, but also menstrual health and reproductive health. I think it's really important to share stories so that people don't feel as alone with the experiences that they're going through. I think that that's really, really important. So what we aim to do, we have like 3 pillars. That's to educate, raise awareness, and also to encourage creativity, because I think all of them play a part in each other in regards to like raising that awareness and really helping people to understand things. So one way that we do that is we do workshops, so to teach people about their menstrual health. So we've actually started doing that at like homeless shelters for young women, and we've actually started to actually develop them into corporate spaces as well, because I think it's really important to have that. And then also with like awareness, we had an exhibition which shared stories about Black women and their menstrual health as well, which was fantastic and just amazing. And also we have like an online storytelling platform, which is our blog, where we share stories about different women's experiences with endo, fibroids, PCOS and things like that. And then the last one is like creativity. So that is, again, our workshop. So we believe in using art as a tool, not only for healing, but also for storytelling. So we've done basically a scrapbooking event, which was really nice to help people to understand their journeys. And then we did the sip and paint, which was the recent one you did. And then we actually have another one coming up, which is called Fill Your Cup. And it's actually for PMDD Awareness Month in April. And it's it's a ceramic workshop to make a cup that you like a teacup, and you can write an affirmation in there to...
I will definitely do that.
Yes, come along. Yeah. I think what's really important as well is that learning that women have so many chronic illnesses and so many chronic conditions, like I said, that it can be a very lonely time, especially when you're first learning about your diagnosis and dealing with it as well. And it can be extremely isolating. So one of the things that I really wanted to do is create that community online, but also in person as well. And I think that art can be used in such an amazing way to help people to process their feelings. So what better way than to have a place where you can meet other people, you can understand more about your conditions, and also you get a chance to express yourself through art. Like, I really want to introduce people to different forms of art as ways to help process and cope with their feelings. So that is basically the bread and butter of what TWEM does, which I say this won't end me, or I say TWEM, either works.
I love that. And really, I'm guessing that's why it's been your why from day one.
Yes.
Of being in that place, of being so vulnerable and having those struggles and not having that community.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I got my diagnosis, I was so sad. I was just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I looked online, saw so many people had different stories, different experiences, and it was so overwhelming for me. And at that time, I think, like, especially being diagnosed during COVID as well, it's even more lonely. So I actually started therapy, and I started therapy with someone who I don't necessarily think she was literally like an art therapist, but one of the things she did was actually use art as a way for me to cope with like in my sessions.
I love that.
And I started drawing, and I started just kind of exploring like my diagnosis, and then ended up drawing a uterus. And I thought of the words endometriosis, and to me it just sounded like such a horrible word. I don't know, it's almost like a swear word, and I highlighted like ends in it, and I was like, okay, I have this diagnosis, but I don't think that this should be something that's like it is a life-altering condition, but it shouldn't be something that I feel like is literally the end of me. So I ended up drawing this uterus, and I still have the picture. And if you go for our old Instagram, it's literally one of our first posts where I just literally draw a uterus, and I just put "this won't end me" on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is really interesting, and this has really helped me. So I posted it on Instagram. I made a whole Instagram, and I was like, I'm seeing so many women like sharing their poems, sharing their art around like their diagnosis, and I was like, oh my gosh, let me just make a community where people can just come and see art. And like, I feel like a picture paints 1,000 words sometimes, where words aren't able to really explain what people are going through. And we ended up building this massive community of people just sharing their experiences through art. And I did it for a year, and then after that I was like,
we can carry on.
Let's do this.
This is
like,
going well.
Why does it have to stop here? Like, I've always wanted to run workshops. I'm like, why wouldn't this be a great way for people to come and express themselves? If people are doing this online anyway, why isn't there this physical space?
Yeah, and it's after COVID. I think there's been I feel like people kind of retreat a little bit more, but I feel like there are these communities building, and it's so healthy to be. When I left the other night, I realized I feed off other people so much, and like people you don't know, and like other people being interested in your story or why you're there and your why, and it's really inspiring. And art therapy as well, I did that as a kid. So good.
It's honestly fantastic. Like it does something to the brain, it does something to the body that you don't realize. And I think that's my why. That's why I did it. I think people need something like this. And
and if you had to give any advice to people that are going through, let's say we're looking at a 15-year-old right now who has all the symptoms you had, and she's about to go through, hopefully not, but the process that you went through. What advice would you give her?
Okay, so this is an interesting one, because I don't think I would give her advice. I think her parents need to be advised. I think that the worst thing that could have happened to me, and I don't blame this on my parents, because they could only do what they can with the tools that they've been given. But I think it's a parent's responsibility. If your child is really struggling with their health, I do think that parents should take more of an active effort to advocate for them.
Menstrual health seems to be, I had years of being really not okay before my period. but it's just like so normalized.
It's so normalized. So I think that it needs to start with parents, because I feel like that time that my dad had to take me to A&E, I think he should have literally been able to say to the doctor, well, no, it's not her period. Like, she's actually in a lot of pain. Like, can you please do some research? Can you please do some more like tests on that? So I do think that there needs to be like, I do think parents, I think teachers, like even when I was in college, my teachers were literally like, why are you missing college? Like, you can't be that bad. Like, just take a painkiller and come in and do your assignment. Like, all of these things, I think adults need to really play a part in really like looking at a young person and being like, you need more support. Like, what can I do to help? I think for a 15-year-old who is experiencing that, I do think that it's good to do research, but I think there's so much research out there. There's so much experiences. Like, you don't want to take all of it in, but I think the main thing is to always write down your symptoms and keep track of them.
This podcast literally wouldn't be possible without Evelyn. Beyond producing it, they have personally helped me on my PMDD journey. I am literally in my luteal phase right now, and I'm telling you, it makes me emotional. 3 years ago, there's no way I could have even sat in this chair, done this podcast, or done anything in my luteal phase. I used to feel like I didn't want to be here before my period. Like, there was a big cloud looming over me, and life just felt so heavy in the 2 weeks before my period. But since I've started Evelyn's supplement routine over a year ago, genuinely my whole life has changed. I feel like I can live again before my period, turn up and do things like this, socialise. Everything around me has improved, and I feel like I can really be myself again in my luteal phase. Evelyn makes science-backed, hormone-free supplements designed by experts for people like me. If you're struggling with your period, I honestly would urge you to give them a try. If you'd like to try them today, go to evelynhealth.com or use the link in our show notes, and you can use Hotline 20 for 20% off your first order. Now we are on to dilemmas. Are you excited for this?
Yes, I love a dilemma.
People have written in just for you.
Okay.
Dilemma number 1. If your pain is super severe but invisible to others, how do you decide when it's serious enough to seek help, especially if past experiences have made you feel dismissed?
That is a good one. I mean, I think your answer is in there anyway, because you've explained that you are experiencing like a lot of pain.
Severe pain, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that is something that, forget what anybody else is saying, forget what people are telling you. I think that you owe it to yourself to be able to go to the doctors and explore that. I think that that's really, really important. Please, I hope that if you are really experiencing these symptoms, that you are like tracking them down and you are writing them down. I think that that's really important, just to keep track and be able to advocate for yourself properly. But 100%, even if it is invisible to others, like, it is visible to you, and your feelings are validated with that, and your pain is valid. So I go now, book your next appointment when you can. Yeah,
I agree, but I also think if this person has had obviously a background of being dismissed, you obviously have that anxiety of wanting to go to the doctor, which is really hard. And a lot of people go unseen because they have one bad experience with a medical professional and then they never go back.
Yeah.
But I always want to urge listeners that even if you've had one bad experience, there are some amazing doctors out there.
Absolutely.
There are people that will listen. And I think in a GP practice, sometimes one might not work for you, but there is another one. I say this again and again.
Yeah.
Just try and find somebody else. And whoever you take to your appointment to advocate for you, I think if you don't want to be the person to be like, I don't want to go to Dr. Smith. That person can be like, can we book in with Dr. Jones next week?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can advocate for you.
Yeah. I think that is a good idea.
Yeah, I honestly think if it feels like it's serious enough to this person,
to definitely go. Yeah. And if like Ellisha said, in regards to like, if you've had a bad experience with another doctor, I would suggest trying another one. I think that that's really, really important. And I think that that's like, that's the normal way to kind of like, sometimes you don't always see the same person.
No.
Sometimes you might see someone different, but again, still bringing those notes with you, even if you have to have a folder full of it, like, bring those notes with you so that you can speak to someone. Yeah,
for sure. And I think it's disheartening when you've had like a bad experience with
100%.
a medical professional, but I think it's the same as anything else in life. You're gonna find a better version. And I always think it's like dating. I literally said it on the last podcast today. It's like dating. Don't worry. Like, don't let it like put you out for life. Keep pushing and you will find the right person.
Absolutely. And also as well, it's okay if you want to take a break as well from like going straight into that. Like if you feel like you're not in the right headspace
you can be burnt out from trying to be diagnosed.
Exactly. Like take your time with it. Like do it when you feel that it's right. But if this pain is really causing you quite a lot of pain, like I really encourage you to please go and book an appointment to see someone to get that support and help.
Yeah. We wish you all the best.
Yes,
and we send
absolutely.
you lots of love. Lots of love. Dilemma number 2. I feel like this is a good one for you. If sharing your story could help others feel less alone, but also makes you feel vulnerable, how did you decide what parts of your experience to make public? I'm really wanting to start a page, but I just don't know how to do it. And I feel scared that I'm going to like give away too much of myself on the internet. Thank
you. Okay, coming from someone who is a chronic oversharer.
Me too. I
probably share more information.
You're on a podcast. I'm on a podcast. Oversharing.
I probably share more information than I need, but if there's any solace to you, even if this might be something that is extremely vulnerable for you to share, just know that there's someone out there. If this helps at any, there is someone out there that's heard about something that you've gone through that has made them feel more seen.
Yeah, they'll resonate. Sure.
And has made them decide, you know what, maybe I do need to go and get help. Like my experience is very similar. And I think that that's the thing that kind of like, I guess encouraged me to continue sharing, even though it was like some parts can be seen as embarrassing, or why would you talk about that? Like who wants to tell people that they have like chronic diarrhea when they're on their periods? But these are normal things, and there might be someone out there that is literally dealing with the same thing and experiencing the same thing. So for me, my thought process with that is that this is bigger than me.
I agree.
This is so much bigger than you, who you are. And this is something that I think also people online especially, they need to see that relatability. I think sometimes when we're on Instagram or TikTok, we see a highlight reel, we see these people with these perfect health, perfect body, like nothing is kind of like bothering them. But to be able to shine a lens on chronic illness or pain, you are opening the world for someone. There could be a 15-year-old who's come across your content.
And it doesn't matter how many followers you have.
Yeah,
like, you could have 15 followers.
Yeah. It could be a 15-year-old. It could be a older person who has literally come across your content and they're like, oh my gosh, I experienced that too. I never thought to go get it checked out. Maybe this is the thing that's going to get it checked out. So if there's anything to take from this, like, obviously feel comfortable with sharing what you feel comfortable sharing with, but just know that there is someone out there who is going to really appreciate the content that you share.
Every time you post, you get more brave.
You do.
My first video, I literally posted, it was like me when I was having a mental breakdown versus me 6 months later where I was like, yeah, I feel great again. Yes. And I thought, I'll post it and we'll just see. Like, if it helps 10 people, fine.
Absolutely.
And then it had like 2 million views. And I was like, oh no, I've exposed myself. But like it still gets traction to this day. And people are still I actually pronounced PMDD wrong in the first video, but we don't talk about that.
It's a learning process for everyone.
Do you know
I think,
like, it doesn't
when
need to
you're
be
having
perfect.
these platforms, like, I think what's most important is, yes, everyone is encouraged to do their own research themselves. Yeah. But it's really important to, like, the intention is there. Like, you're talking about a lived experience. There's going to be things you're going to get wrong.
Well, experiment. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I always think as long as you're not being horrible, it doesn't matter.
100%. And the other thing I would actually suggest as well is that, like, you don't actually have to put your name or put anything. You could do an anonymous one. Like, you don't have to put your face on it if you're not comfortable doing that yet. It could just be infographics. It could be like a Canva template. It could be your notes. Literally, it can be anything. So yeah, just know you don't necessarily have to name yourself. Like, there are other options.
You don't have to be like us.
Yeah. But please share. Please share your Instagram with us when you do make it, because we'd love to support and love to see it.
And good luck. Yeah. We wish you all the luck.
Absolutely.
All the luck. Just smash it. Don't worry about it. Yes. Who cares what anyone thinks?
Right.
Dilemma number 3. Hey, I really wanted to know, do you push through the pain or cancel plans knowing people might not understand?
This is a good one. I think, like, for a while I felt really, really bad about cancelling my plans because and I would push through and then I'd make myself even worse. I'd feel even worse the next couple of days. And, like, it might be a one night out or a one day out, but it's like a 3-day recovery period that you have to go through. So I don't think you should feel bad about that. I think you should. There's one thing that I definitely think that is really important is listening to your body.
Yeah.
And listening to how you feel. And if there's people around you that don't really like want to understand or have that empathy to be able to say, you know what, fair, that is absolutely fine, then I think that is something that you have to consider.
I always say, like, take a step back and maybe review your friendship group.
Yeah, because unless it's like, I don't like, there's at this point in time, you have a chronic condition. You are experiencing
whether you're diagnosed
pain,
or not,
whether you're
not. Pain.
Yes, yeah. And the thing is that like chronic pain, it's pain that you experience all the time, whether you have a diagnosis or not. So like, if you are experiencing chronic pain, whatever that may be, or any chronic condition, whatever that may be, like, you deserve the time to be able to look after yourself and put yourself first. And I know people are like, oh, that's selfish, like, you know, you have to put others first. But I think when it comes to your health
and you're in pain,
you are first and foremost in everything that you consider. So yeah, I think that's really, really important to please listen to your body.
I also think the friends that stay when you're as like authentic as you can be and be like, guys, I feel like absolute crap, I'm in pain. The friends that stay and support you and actually are like, no, well done, you've put yourself first. They're the real ones.
Absolutely.
The ones that are going to turn around and be like, oh, I can't, you're always in pain, like, why can't you just suck it up? Like, sorry, girl.
They've got to go.
Bye.
They've got to go.
Bye, out the door.
Right, exactly.
So it's actually quite a good way of seeing who's a real one.
Absolutely, I agree. And also as well, like, everybody loves cancelled plans. I don't know anybody who doesn't like cancelled plans. Like, honestly,
unless I've done my makeup.
Unless I have actually stepped foot out of my house and like made my way towards my journey, you can cancel on me, honestly, because 9 times out of 10 I want to cancel anyway. Like, we make a lot of plans when we're feeling great, and then when it comes to not feeling better, you are allowed to change your mind.
This is why plans, when I put them too far in advance, give me anxiety. My friend's like, why can't you just put something in the diary for 3 months time? I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to feel.
No.
That's very real for like chronic illnesses as well.
Absolutely.
Like, playing it by ear.
Yeah, you have to play it by ear, and like, you have to really listen to your body. Like, sometimes it would be 30 minutes before I'm about to head out and I'm like, actually, I really don't feel good. I don't want to come. My friends will understand that. That's because I have a great support network around me. All that to be said, please go to as many events as possible where there are like chronic conditions that are being talked about. There's so many seminars, there's so many like things that are happening. You will meet people who are going through the same things as you. They're never going to be like, hey, like, why can't you come? Because they know what it feels like to have a chronic illness.
Get a friendship group full of endo.
Build it like
endo queens.
Yes, endo baddies. Like, you need that. Like, chronic illness baddies. Like, anyone who has a chronic illness will know exactly what that feels like. So they'll never put that pressure on you. No. So I think it's really important to surround yourself with good people.
Agreed.
Yes,
so, like,
absolutely.
Yeah, friendship.
But we're besties forever now. Just letting you guys know, we're like besties.
Oh my gosh.
I normally do this.
Oh,
can you?
Very Gen Z of you.
Yeah. Just
Okay, now we're on to quick fire questions. Feeling fiery, ready to go.
Yes.
Number 1, what is one change you'd like to make in the healthcare system?
Okay. Oh, this is really quick and now I can't think about it. Just more advocating and more awareness around menstrual leave. I think that menstrual leave should be really important. So everyone should have a day where they can have days off and they're not scrutinized for it because they're having period pains or chronic illnesses
100%.
or chronic pain. Yeah.
100% agree. 100% agree. Advice you would give to your younger self?
Ooh, okay. Listen to your body.
Nice.
Listen to your body.
And I'd say whether you have a chronic condition or not, always listen to your body.
Listen to your body. And comparison is a thief of joy. So
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Always love that one. Okay, and lastly, biggest personal health challenge you faced?
Definitely endometriosis is the biggest one I have faced because this is something that I'm still battling with now. And it's something that I have to accept, even in regards to thinking about whether I want to have children or not and how that affects that. So it's a lifelong thing that I have to consider. So definitely the biggest challenge. But all that to say, like, I'm not like, I'm positive about it, and I am taking the steps to really support myself and really get the support that I need as well.
You are smashing it as well. And what I also find mad, obviously you've come from an endo background, I come from a PMDD background. PMDD has brought me here today. I'm the host of a podcast.
Yes.
You have a non-profit organisation where you are a CEO. Endo has brought that to
absolutely.
And it's really magical when you can turn that pain into something really beautiful, and like you're changing so many people's lives.
Thank you. You too as well.
It's incredible.
It's that the awareness is really, really needed, and that's why I always say, like, it's bigger than me. So if I can support someone in some way, then that's my job well done.
And like I always say, our DMs are always open. Yeah,
absolutely.
What's your Instagram? It will be on the screen anyway.
This won't end me. Literally, just all one word. This won't end me. So yeah, come and give us a follow and
come to an event with me.
Come to an event. Come to our next event. It will be happening in April. So
come.
I'm really excited.
I'd love that. Well, I'm really proud of you, and thank you so much. Like, I love learning more about endo and stuff like this, because I know so many people that suffer with it, and I'm sure the main takeaway from this will be, there's so many things you can do to help, but it's a journey. Find your community and you will be okay.
Absolutely. I think it's really important. Like, don't feel like you're alone in this. Like, there are people out there to support you, and if you ever need any advice or anything, please reach out. And that's all I can offer.
Give me a hug. And that's a wrap on another Hormonal Hotline episode. Please be sure to subscribe and please click the bell to get notifications. We cannot wait to have you back, and thank you so much for coming.